Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to create the ideal relationship with your SP and everybody else. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back and good morning here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Big video for you today. This was a short conversation that I had. It only lasted about 20 minutes because she had to go. And we're gonna talk again maybe next week or the week after. But our discussion really centers around what could be a series of master classes and how to change your entire life, how to create your ideal relationship. And in our discussion, she was talking about, Tom, I used to feel a lot of blame and guilt. And she goes, I used to project that on the coaches and others in the reality creation community, believing that they're making me feel guilty or blaming me for that my life sucks, for my terrible life, right? She goes, my story was, I didn't really get it until I got it, that my life sucks, right? My story, that was my story. And she was trying to use processes to create that better life while telling the story underneath that. Yeah, but my life sucks and these processes don't work. And these coaches and YouTube channels are making me feel guilty for that and blaming me. When really I was blaming me. I was creating the guilt and the blame by saying that my story sucks, by never telling the story of how I wanted things to be, that I'm abundant, that I'm free and I'm in love. This became her mantra. She referenced many videos on the channel. Lots to talk about. We're not going to get to all those, but I want to talk about how she did this with her new story. The idea of combining the idea of what we called robotic affirmations, but remember, we didn't even use that word, and affirmed her new life in. In other words, with the intensity and frequency of persisting in that new story, not persisting out of lack and saying that I've got to make this life that I believe sucks into something that doesn't. But knowing that her life didn't suck, that she was remembering it wrong, she was seeing it wrong. And as she told that new story, her life demonstrated that. This is powerful. She goes, I love my life now. I love who I am. I love what she said here. I love who I am. I am who I am, and that's my story, right? I mean, that powerful, and remember where Bashar says, and that is enough. Well, I love this, right? And I love the idea I'm abundant and free and in love. We've talked about that on the channel. My world takes care of me. She was quoting Vadim Zeland and from his works, right? She goes, that's who I am, period. Just decided this is her story now, right? Her entire world formed and morphed around her new definition and assumption. The conditions must change and morph around that. Because remember, she made a decision, that's who I am now. Regardless of the conditions, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what I'm thinking and feeling, my preferred reality is my life's wonderful. Right? Everything's wonderful. It's wonderful, as Neville Goddard would say, right? It's perfect, as we've been talking about, right? I'm abundant, free, and in love. That's my new identity anyway. So I'm going to choose that anyway, regardless of the circumstances. It all started around, of course, a relationship that she was with this specific person. And of course, the relationship changed because she changed. And that version of her specific person changed. Right? Remember, everyone changes in your world when you change. You create different versions of your world, of your reality, of who you are. And so it creates different versions of them. But she even decided, yeah, but nah, not really into him anymore. Right? He's great. That's a great version. But so we're going to talk about all of this, right? Her entire world changed. New love. She met someone new. New job. New friends, new relationships with her old friends and family, a new everything. She created a new version of her. She affirmed her new story no matter what. She even said that, yeah, good days and bad days, rain or shine, there were all of these things that unfold in 3D circumstances that we could judge aren't going well. She goes, but I am. I am through it all. I want to really hit this today like we never have before. It's your story. Remember, we've had this discussion and she really resonated with this. It's about you. It's about love. It's not about others. It's not about lack. You can't persist. There's nothing, no process can change a story that you have underneath that my life sucks. No process can change that, right? Tell the story, your I am story. It's of being abundant, free, and in love like she did, right? It's the great, remember, I am, as I've talked about on many videos, is the greatest love story ever told. Tell that story without conditions. It does come from a place of truth. Right? There's a place of truth that, I really am abundant and free and in love, but I'm not seeing it. I'm persisting in that story that things suck, that life sucks, right? And these are her words, right? So I don't usually use that word a lot, but she brought it up so much that I want to talk about it because there was some real power there. There's some real power in her doing an absolutely 180 and not telling that story anymore. So it changes your life across the board in all areas, in all time, past, present, future. She's seeing that there is no real linear time. That those relationships, they're never what she thought they were. That the past never was. She was remembering it wrong. This is powerful. Tell the story that I am abundant, free, and in love. Right? Tell that story. Affirm that. Make that your robotic affirmation. The entire world will play their part to fulfill that new story. This is for sure. So, contrary circumstances, contrary conditions. It doesn't matter because I'm abundant, free, and in love. I put quotes in these brown marks around her quotes. It doesn't matter because I'm abundant, free, and in love. When those contrary conditions that we normally would judge as contrary or negative came up, she goes, it doesn't matter. This is because her new identity, her ideal identity, became my only story no matter what. She decided that's my only story no matter what. I am. All the effort to manifest messages, calls, attention, phone calls, she goes, it seems so silly now, right? The idea that there's no movement and I've got to manifest movement. She goes, it's always moving. She got that. This is her. She goes, all that effort to manifest messages, calls, attention, phone calls seems so silly now. It does, right? Oh, I want to manifest movement in my reality. It's always moving. She goes, but I just kept saying that, no, this sucks, that sucks. I was stopping the movement, right? It's always moving. I am already always been the center of attention. So she goes, I am already always been the center of attention. She's the center of attention. She's the center of her reality. She doesn't need to force circumstances or others to call her or send her messages or give her attention or say the right things. She creates all that. And then she goes, they mean nothing. And she was laughing because I used that quote from the Chosen, from the Pool of Bethesda scene, as you guys know. They mean nothing. I love this, right? She really embodied this as a masterclass. Of course, what I desire desires me. Nothing exists without me. That whole idea, you see so many videos, what you desire desires you. Of course it does. There's nothing but you. There's no secret there. Of course what you desire desires you. Nothing exists outside of you. Well, I was really having a lot of fun. She's a master creator, right? Powerful, right? I am, awareness, existence. It's all love. It's all that. I am is love. I am is your awareness. It is existence itself. Nothing exists outside of it, so of course what you desire desires you. No kidding. There's nothing outside of you. Wow, we were busting all of these bogus beliefs that 3D has to catch up with you and all of this stuff that's out there, right, that people talk about. It doesn't catch up, you're it. It's you catching up with you. It's you being who you are. It's you stop looking out there and telling that old story. That's powerful. So she goes, I wasn't having fun. I was affected by every little change in 3D, up and down, tired and then excited. Way too much importance on the world out there. I was not me, right? I was not me. I am, right? It was just, she goes, I was not me. I was something else, trying to form myself around the conditions to improve those. trying to do processes to make myself better. I am as I am. I was like a manifestation of the circumstances I created. I like this insight she had here. I was like a manifestation of the circumstances I created. Wow. Right? She was changing according to those circumstances that she created and then judged that she didn't like, right? That's powerful. She flipped the script and recognized herself as source, right? Her new story, she persisted in her new story, returned to her imagined perfect identity and reality, because that's who she chose to be, or who she chooses to be now and desires to be regardless of circumstances. It's not persistence out of effort and lack. That's her choice now. That's who she is now. So of course she's going to persist in it and return to it. And that's what makes it natural, right? What 3D, and this is a quote from her, what 3D does or doesn't do, what others think or how they act is irrelevant. I know who I am. That's all that matters. Yes, because that creates all of those, it creates what others will think and what others will do and how others will act around you. You create it all. You're the center. Very powerful. And she stopped asking those questions, how long and how many times. That's what makes it feel unnatural and forced. It's not about any of that. How long should I imagine this? How long should I do this? It's a choice. It's a decision to be that person no matter what. How long is irrelevant? How many times is irrelevant? Right? That's what makes it unnatural. It translates into an emotion of lack and doubt when you're asking those questions and believing that. It gives reality to the contrary negative conditions. It makes your desired reality invisible to you. She goes, I really get it now, what you mean when you say it's invisible to you. It just became visible. Day by day, it became more visible as she opened up her eyes to her new story. But when you return to your desired end and you persist in your identity, because that's what you love and that's what you prefer, regardless of the 3D circumstances, then it becomes natural to who you are now. It no longer is translated into lack and doubt, right? It becomes who you are. Neville Goddard says this, it's the frequency, not the length of time that makes it natural. The frequency, and you're not returning to it out of persistence, out of effort, but because that's your choice now. That's who you prefer to be. Affirm it, robotic or otherwise, and tell your new story from that place of truth within, I am. Frequency plus intensity equals persistence, because that's your preference. That's your preferred identity in reality anyway. That's love. Love is intensity. The intensity is love. It's not time, it's love. It's not how many times it's free. It's not how long, it's frequency. It's how many times you return to it. Persisting in it, right? No matter what the world says, no matter what others say, persist in your new story for the love of it. Persist. Persistent assumption of the wish fulfilled is not a means to an end. It is the end. I'm abundant, I'm free, and I'm in love. It's the end itself. Neville got it. We can lay aside all other processes. When you match your inner speech to your wish fulfilled, you lay aside all other processes. How do I tell my story? How long? How many times? How do I deal with unwanted conditions? All of that comes from lack and non-fulfillment. You're always telling a story. Now tell it how you would like it to be. I am versus I am not, right? Take action, but do less than you could, excuse me, got a little cold. Do less than you could possibly imagine, right? Take action, but do less than you could possibly imagine. Allow who you are and your new story to speak for itself, right? Measure reality by what you sow, your new I am story, and not by what you reap, the appearances out there, right? Not by the changing conditions of people, events, and circumstances, but who you say you are right now, your new story, your preference. Allow who you are and your new story to speak for itself. That's powerful. That's how to create the ideal relationship with your SP and everybody else. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and our membership channel, Sunday, this Sunday, at 9 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Coast Standard Time, we're going to come to you here live from the studios at Be Something Wonderful with our 5th live stream of the year, our 14th live stream in all, and we're going to be answering your questions and hitting topics that you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. If you're a member, join us. If you're not, check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.